Alright, M1a's Springfield Armory. Let's get into it. You may have seen my Loaded versus Scout Squad video, and in that you may have noticed that I said I could see myself getting a SOCOM 16 someday. Consider it someday. I bought this with the green stock on it. The green stock for the SOCOMs, or any of the stocks for the SOCOMs for that matter, still come with the flip-up butt stock. I always liked the look of the OD green stock on the Scout Squad, so I bought that knowing that they would switch out. The stocks will switch out for any of them. The top handguards, obviously, for the SOCOM and the Scout Squad have the Scout rail on them right here, so those will switch out also. I'm going to start with the one I bought first and end with the most recent. First M1a I ever bought or owned was this Loaded right here. Loaded comes with the National Match trigger group, National Match barrel, National Match front sight. The difference between that and the actual National Match are the hooded sight and the glass bedded stock, which I don't think is really worth another $1,000. I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on it, but I'll see if I can get it to focus on the top of the barrel here. You'll see the difference in the... Let's see if I can get this to focus there. You'll see that NM308, that stands for National Match, where the Scout just says 308, and the SOCOM just says 308. Almost died. Loaded's a great rifle, really accurate. It's one of those rifles when you pull that out, people just ask if they can hold it and tell you about their dad or their uncle that had one, and of course the Vietnam vets really like them. It's a great rifle, really accurate, doesn't kick at all. Really heavy rifle, not really that mobile. That kind of got me thinking about getting a shorter one, and I eventually started thinking I'd get the SOCOM 16. You know how reviews are. I've read 100 reviews saying that the SOCOM 16 is worthless. I've read 100 reviews saying it's a nail driver, it's the best rifle ever. Well, then I got onto old Hitchcock 45, as I'm sure we've all done. He's probably cost us all thousands of dollars, but he started shooting the Scout Squad, and I watched Nothing Fancy's video on the Scout Squad. That's really why I always like the look of the green stock on that. And my second one I bought was a Scout Squad. I bought it obviously because it's significantly shorter than the Loaded. I'll try and move it here. I've got them posted up. But that's about the length difference that you're going to be dealing with between the Loaded and the Scout Squad. The Scout Squad, I said in that video, was my favorite between the two. You're losing those, what is it, 280 feet a second between the barrel lengths. They both shoot really good. I know that the Loaded really isn't a sub-minute of angle rifle, but I'm really not a sub-minute of angle shooter, so that kind of works out. I haven't decided which scope I'm going to go with on the Loaded yet. If anybody would want to suggest one, I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. But I got the Scout Squad. Love it. Just absolutely love it. Right now it's wearing the Springfield Armory 4th generation scope mount and the Burris M1a. I'll try to get this up here on camera without dropping everything. I think the M1a is actually a really great choice for the Scout. On one power you can see the front sight post, which I think is really cool. And then obviously it goes to a 4 power also. But I think that's a great choice for that rifle. I had an AR-10 with the 16-inch barrel collapsible stock, which I liked because it was so short. But you start getting into the problem of magazines, and do I really want to have two setups for the same caliber? I didn't. I sold the AR-10, and I ended up getting the SOCOM 16, which I've really grown to love. I like the size of it. I just think it looks really cool. saw another YouTuber with an AFG on his M1a, and if you YouTube search modernizing your M1a, I won't steal his thunder on how he did that, but he shows you how to put an AFG on the front of these, and it feels really great. I like it's got a wider rear sight ring, and it's got a wider front sight post with a Trigicon night sight on it, which I can't really pick up here that well. But it's got a Trigicon night sight on it. The dead center of that does light up at nighttime. It's really obviously not a long range rifle, which I think that's why they went with the wider front sight post. But I would call this the I guess get out of my house, within 100 range rifle. It shoots that big 308, which I really like. I'd consider the Scout more of the patrolling rifle, I guess, 100 to 500 yard, just kind of all-purpose M1a, I guess you could say. Then of course you got the loaded, definitely up to 1,000 yard rifle. Like I said, I've shot great groups with that rifle. I think it's really accurate. I'm happy with it. If I had to pick a top one out of these three, like I did on the last video, I would still say that the Scout Squad is my favorite of the three. I think its mobility is better than the loaded, and I just feel more confident at longer ranges with the 18-inch barrel versus the 16.25-inch barrel. I like the fact that this has the tried and true gas system on it, where the SOCOM actually has a little bit different of a gas system on it to make that 16-inch barrel work. I think the flash suppressors, or I guess the muzzle brakes, I should say, on the Scout and the SOCOM are both really good. The SOCOM is real loud. The SOCOM's loud. I'm sorry, the Scout Squad is loud, and the SOCOM's really, really loud. I would say that the Scout Squad puts more of a blast out for people sitting next to you when you're shooting it. I'll tell you right now, these rifles don't kick. If you've never shot a 308, they're just smooth shooters. They don't kick at all, which is probably one of my favorite things about them. But I love the Scout Squad, especially with this new stock on it. I just think that that's a hard one to beat right there with this setup, especially. I don't think these are meant to have real long range scopes put on them. I won't get into a second because I don't want to hurt one of their feelings and make it last place. But it's hard to justify having all three of these in some way. There's about $5,000 at M1As right here with the optics and everything. One of the worst things about these obviously is they eat the 308, which is a really expensive round to shoot. I'm going to give you a tip on shooting 308. Obviously these aren't long range precision rounds, and people are going to say, oh, those are junk. I have shot a lot of these Perfectas. I've got thousands of them in the gun safe, but what I do is these boxes that Walmart also sells for $4, and they have the weatherproofing strip in them. These hold 9 boxes of these perfectly, so I'll buy a couple a week, throw them in that box. When the box is full, I'll seal it, and I'll throw it in the safe over there. But you can catch them on sale for, I think the last time I bought them, they were $10.04 a box. And then you put them in those boxes, and through time, they just kind of add up. But I've probably got more rounds through the Scout than any of them, just because when it is time to go start burning up 50 cents a shot, that's probably my favorite one to shoot. But I definitely think they all serve their purpose for short range, close quarters, mid range, and long range. I just love these guns. I think they're a piece of American history, and you can't go wrong with any of them, honestly. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.